Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Trial of Mana. I'm Serious JG. Um, if you notice we're the exact same screen as last time, that is correct. That's because I put my PS4 in rest mode and haven't played any other games since I last recorded. So my promise to end my last session was fulfilled, and I know how deeply you care about that. I don't think I noticed before the little footprints that appear behind you on this map. That's kind of useful as far as actually charting what direction you are coming from. They have a direction you are facing that you can kind of make out, but yeah, it's neat. Anyway, back to the world map. So, this is the biggest continent of the game. Because normally we have, well, I guess Navarre is pretty big, because it's got, these fire pits are where, I would think that's where we get Salamando, but now I don't think it is. I think we get Salamando from this volcano during like a quick side trip. I know that, but it might be down here we get Salamando, but definitely the, what the hell they call? They're not god beasts, they're Benevodons. They mentioned the Benevodons. Spoiler alert, we end up doing battle against Benevodons at some point, and they end up being in, one of them is in there, I guess. But I'm just looking at the geography of this world. Kind of wish I knew where this place was. This is probably the mountains where we get Jin, the wind spirit, eventually. But yeah, you see, there's a couple of screens worth of area to traverse in the Mole Bear Moors, but it's not really that big ultimately, and it feels bigger in the other game where you don't have a little yellow star guiding you where to go. So a lot of these dungeons feel bigger in that game, just because you can wander back and forth lost pretty easily. But yeah, we're thoroughly exploring what is the biggest continent in the game, I guess, and it doesn't seem that big. It feels, as you play and look at the world map, the world feels a little bit smaller, I guess, when you can actually see how much unexplored territory there is to see. But for our purposes, Angela starts at Eltena, fights her way through Frostbite Fields, and eventually collapses and is found and dragged to the snow hamlet Arlant. She takes a boat to Jag's Stronghold, fights through the Rabite Forest to get to the lakeside town of Astoria, meets Fairy and Duran for the first time, and passes through the Cascade Cavern to get to the holy city of Wendell and the Temple of Light. Along the way in the Cascade Cavern, she meets Charlotte. Once she's here, she gets sent on her quest, and as she's going back through the Cascade Cavern, she gets the Spirit of Light, Lumina, but she's also captured by beastmen. Fighting her way out of Jad's stronghold, the party takes a boat to the free city of Maya, where they should have gone through the Golden Road to Dwarf Village and gotten Gnome at Stone Split Gap, along with some nitroglycerin stuff, and then come back to the free city of Maya, where a cannon launches her to the Mole Bear Moors, and she's able to fight her way to Valsena, Kingdom of the Plains. Instead, the party goes to Stone Split Cap and the whatever in the Dwarf Tunnel, doesn't actually get the Gelignite, or that does get the Gelignite, doesn't get Dwarf, with using it in a term I'm not going to use again because I said I'd stop, but it's often associated with speedrunning Super Metroid. They're shot from the cannon to Mole Bear Moors and get to Valsena, the Kingdom of the Plains, at which point the Hero King says, "What are you guys trying to do? You're trying to speedrun this Super Metroid style? Do things out of order? Get back to the Dwarf Tunnel." So we go back to the Dwarf Tunnel. We get Gnome, and now we're coming back to Valsena, Kingdom of the Plains, to figure out what we should have been doing before all this nonsense happened. We also have been finding the odd little cactus, and now it looks like whenever I get back to when we eventually load the state where I've played ahead, first in Gust Hall and then ultimately in the free city of Maya, where I was grinding for, because 21, not that far ahead of where we are, that's we're about to class change. Free City of Maya is where I actually went ahead and leveled up a bunch off screen trying to get seeds, and we're going to end up being way too powerful for a chunk of the game. But you haven't seen us in a lot of trouble yet anyway. But yeah, we'll be in even less trouble in these boss fights and stuff once we load here. But once I get this slot, I'm going to have to go make sure that I picked up some of the little cacti that we found while exploring. Okay, it's just 2 screens with this stuff. The little cacti. Can you do like a Final Fantasy 13 style map where we move from map to map? And no, we can't. Don't work that way in this game. But yeah, when we were, found a couple of little cacti in the Moorbear Moors, kind of in the section of the Moorbear Moors, between the Moorbear Moors and the bridge to Stone Split Gap that's broken. So I'm going to have to go back and make sure we got those. But Angela's doing her, you waited too long, and I'm not sure what these poses are meant to be. Clearly, she's putting out a little performance for someone watching her. But let's get on with the story here. I just did a whole intro relating the plot, and I'm not sure why, because it's... I guess this is an important point of the plot. Now we have just... even though we messed it up by doing it out of order, it's kind of like we're meeting the Hero King for the first time, and the Hero King is really going to guide us on our quest. So I guess I've captured what we've done before we get to the point where Angela, Duran, and Charlotte are just, and Fairy, are just stuck. They don't know where else to go to get more mana spirits, and they need... The bad guys are trying to get the mana stones. We're trying to get the mana spirits. Although ultimately I think we also need the mana stones, because all of us are trying to get to... the Mana Holy Land where the Mana Tree is, because the Mana Goddess who hangs out at the Mana Tree is, I guess, or is the Mana Tree, I guess, is the only one who can grant all of our wishes and save the world. The bad guys just want to get to them to steal the Mana Sword and take over the world, but other than the fact that they don't care about collecting the Mana Spirits because they're going to sacrifice a life to open a gate to the Mana Forest Zone, and we're going to actually use the power of the spirits to do it and be more Paragon about it. Ultimately, we do kind of need to do all the same things, so let's check in with the Hero King. We probably should be sending his armies to secure the Mana Stone, but I guess if he were doing that, it would be playing right into the world of violence and war that we're trying to avoid here.
6 remain. You must travel to Poloport.
We just jumped right into what he would have said if we had known.
From there, you can reach Laurent's Mana Stone. It is the Windstone.
Thank you, Your Majesty. We will find the stones.
You need Sylphid's wind powers in order to find the remaining stones. Return once you have found him. Safe travels to you all.
Thanks, Dad. Possibly. I mean, possibly thanks. You're definitely my dad. Yeah, there's a little jiggle there that I hadn't noticed before. Anyway, so yeah, I don't remember it so clearly in the Super Famicom version, but I guess it does really feel like we're going to be doing a lot of returning to the Hero King. I kind of feel like once we get the so if I'm guessing correctly from this map, this is the city we'll be traveling to by boat. This is the city we couldn't get to before. You see, it's right next to the Golden Road. I guess once we get here, we take a boat that takes us to this city, and here's where the Windstone is. Now, getting the Windstone is not going to be a simple matter. It's going to involve questing to some other places to defeat some challenges along the way. But once we get it, I feel like something happens plot-wise that prevents us from going back to the Hero King right away. But in order to resolve that plot thing, we run across a couple of the spirits anyway. So I don't think we're going to be coming back to this place after literally every spirit is captured. A little viewpoint of Duran's butt there. Now, this is interesting. Like, you wouldn't know that you needed to talk to this NPC. But let's just talk to him. I just showed someone into the courtyard so they could set up a new cannon. Makes sense that we'd be beefing up the castle defenses with Altena's troop movement. Come to think of it, I think the cannon mechanic said something about blasting all the way to Maya. Perhaps Maya will be destroyed by our wrath. It was almost like he was talking about shooting people out of that thing instead of cannonballs. Wouldn't that be something? Maybe he could load it up with zombie parts, like a blunderbuss. But only if he can figure out the menu system and how to make ammo, rather than just collecting lots of it and complaining that he doesn't have ammo. Here's this fellow who Duran defeated way back when. What do you want anyway? Listen here, I'm gonna get stronger than you and take your place as the best in the kingdom. Got it? Don't get comfy. The thought of Bruiser has granted you a new ability. Chain ability, personal style. Bruiser chain ability, attack increase when using class strikes. That's not a bad one, and I thought we already got something from him, but I guess maybe... Oh, if we got it during the flashback, then it doesn't count. Interesting. Or this fine fellow.
Bon voyage? Oh, you mean my
How could I think? How could I be?
I'm bonjour.
It's like, I don't know why he's identical to his brother, and he's here setting up a cannon. It seems to me that he's the one who should expect that people might be confused.
I know you want to get back to Maya, but hang on. I'm still setting up my brother's invention.
Wait for the cannon to be finished. Go kill time. Well, I guess this is... I am not even sure what it would be, but I was just scanning the area for people with yellow stars over their heads before it occurred to me the mini-map is already going to tell me. So this is... Occasionally it happens, like, you get to a point where the game... And this happened in the SNES version and was even more frustrating because you didn't have these golden stars to tell you who you needed to talk to advance things. Trying to remember what day it is when you're fighting. That is not even... It's not even worth the effort. Because, you know, on Salamando Day, Salamando Fire has a boost, but it's like, I don't know how much it is, but it's way too much work to try to figure that out. No, but there's a couple of points where it's like, okay, kill time until something happens that you don't control, and it's always like, well, you just wander around talking to all the NPCs 3 times over. It's like playing Cobra Space Adventures. It's nuts. Off an adventure, I'm sure you'll be fine, but I wish you safe travels regardless. I think I've talked to him like 10 times, it feels like. I just keep hearing that quote. So we've gotten all the treasure boxes here. But that's some bullshit. The little cactus tells us where treasure boxes are, but the treasures you get from those little golden grams, those little golden flakes of stuff, they're not, like, noticeably that much worse than the ones you get from treasure boxes, and it doesn't tell you how many of those you've missed. People's lives are 90% inspiration, 1% perspiration. Or maybe I got that backwards. 99% destiny. Destiny sounds like a stripper name. Well, you look like a stripper, honey, so just be quiet. The rest of your future is always shaped by your will. It's up to you to decide. We call that final 1% hope. What's that face for, huh? Why not get a reading from this old fortune teller, yawn? Yeah, nothing is coming to me. That's never happened. All I see is a fairy creature fluttering around. Yeah, I would think that would be pretty noticeable. Yes, a fairy like that. Oh my, are you a real fairy? Or are you just, putting on a hilarious, lisping effeminate person act on British television? It's my fault. It's impossible to divine the future of a person possessed by a fairy. There's nothing wrong with your gift. That gave me a cold sweat. I think I should rest for today. Close the door on your way out. Don't let the door hit you, or the good Lord split you. The thought of the fortune teller has granted you a new ability, which is apparently, like, required, since you have... This person had a yellow dot. You had to talk to them to advance the story. Although occasionally they'll give you, like, 4 yellow dots, and you just have to talk to at least 2 of them. But we got fortune teller chain ability banish. Status effect time shortened by 50%. And again, I feel bad from a completionist perspective to have missed that Jad Stronghold prisoners chain ability, but you get tons of them, and you can't use them all. So it's only but so upsetting. Handy thing I hadn't thought about till now, they do mark where you found little cactus previously on the map. Which is great, because if you're coming back later with a fact, you could drive yourself nutty looking, like if you forgot that you found a little cactus here and you think this is the one you're missing, you could go nuts. But the map will help you to know that you already found a little cactus there once. Okay, now I really want to go into your house now, Durand. Apparently, there are powerful beasts sealed within the Mana Stones. At least that's what it said in a book. What would happen if they were released? Please think of me next time, Princess. Oh, wait, I've got glasses and a mustache. Never mind. Wow, it is like little, like you have to actually look at the face, but definitely not Victor, unless Victor grew a mustache and got glasses. Naughty novel. Oops. I accidentally read one of my own books that I carry with me, I guess. Naughty novel. That's not even me trying to find all the cute, fun goofiness in the game. I was literally looking for information on Benevodon's monster manual. It has information on everything from rabbits to mushrooms. Some monsters are described in an ancient language. Can't read it. Yeah, she didn't do very good at her bat mitzvah. Never mind, she's a girl. She wouldn't have a bat mitzvah. The Mysteries of the Mana Stone. They're full of mystery. These books are not useful. Switching classes. Classes. A hidden power of some Mana Stones and the ability to draw out the latent abilities of adventurers seeking to switch their classes. Experience dictates when one can change classes. Without a specified level of battle experience, 18 for Class 2 and 38 for Class 3, the adventurer cannot switch. Class 3 is one of the highest known classes. Its power is so great that the Mana Grand Croix sealed it away. Without a certain magical item, one cannot unlock the class. A magical item. That's actually just 6 loot. Because as we get the next Mana Stone, we'll be just at about the point where we should be switching classes for the first of 2 times during the main story. And the PS4/Switch remake adds a 3rd class change for post-story that was not part of the original game. Benevodons. Earth, Landumber. Wind, Dangard. Fire, Jean B. Water, Figmund. Moon, Dolan. No one can beat him. I pledge my loyalty only to Dolan. Oh, that's Doros, never mind. Wood, Miss Palm. Light, Light Gazer. Darkness. Question. Nothing is written about the last one. I guess that Darkness is Mr. Question. It's, what is it? Yuri and Ryo Sakazaki's dad. He actually has a first name because he's playable in some of the Art of Fighting games, but I don't remember. I don't know if he's playable in Art of Fighting. He's playable in King of the Fighters. But yeah, Mr. Sakazaki is Mr. Question. Unless you Master Howken, you can never beat him. Without the Bridge of Maya, there's nowhere for us to run. Nowhere to run to, baby. Nowhere to hide. You can always run deeper into the Mulberry Moors. Apparently, they're powerful beasts, so never mind, you already talked to me. Because you thought I was Victor. This guy's trying to block us, but we're able to read about the Mana Tree. Sealed away at the heart of our world is the Mana Sanctuary. In the center stands the Mana Tree, resting place of our protector, the Goddess of Mana. She protects us from impure thoughts about the naughty novel. I've been researching the Mana Tree in as many old texts as I can find. I hope I can see its magnificence in person someday. You won't. It's gonna end up getting cut down. It's not even spoilers, folks. It's a Mana game. The Mana Tree's gonna get cut down. Then there'll be some heartwarming message about how a new Mana Tree will grow. But the bad guys are definitely cutting down the Mana Tree. I thought we were on good terms with Altena, but after these attacks, why, if I see anyone from Altena, I'll gut them on sight! Oi! Stop blocking my path! Obtained honey elixir. Good stuff. Heading to Laurent? I highly recommend stopping by the night market in Misa on your way.
There are many things for sale that may help you on your travels. Some rare items sold at the night market you can't buy anywhere else. Might as well take a look, right? I'm from Bizer myself, so I love to recommend it to others. I actually get a small commission every time you purchase from Bizer. Please click on the link below. The town is mostly spared, but you never know when another kingdom may attack while our guard is down. They caught us with the britches down before. In our kingdom, women don't do anything, and men are swordsmen. In their kingdom, men don't do anything, and women are mages. I think they must have it right, because they kicked our ass. Please, princess, think of me the next time your mother calls you, and promptly rush to get killed on her orders. The Hero King statue is quite striking, don't you think? I stare at it a lot, particularly right between the legs there. That sword, I'd like to admit... I'm sorry, it's because I've been reading the naughty novel. I saw some sort of cannon in the courtyard of the castle. I wonder what it's for. What are cannons usually for, lady? See, I'd love to be skipping around the map, but the eep sound, like I said, it kind of grates after a while. Partial/full recovery. Partial recovery is when you recover part of the way. Full recovery is when you full recover. Like, recover all, you know, fully. That is all. Partially recover with square, fully recover with triangle. I actually should have read that, because that's not a mechanic that I really think I understand at all. Why would you, like, if an item can give you partial or full recovery, why would you ever choose partial? Is there some mechanic where you can take enough potions to fully recover with one button press? Maybe that's what they mean? I guess that would be kind of a time saver.
I'm Von Jour, younger brother of Von Voyage, and he told me all about you. He even gave me this cannon to help out with your little adventures.
Little adventures? We're trying to save the world.
Hop in. I'll send you back to my brother's place in Maya. Oh, no. Don't worry. I'm a much better shot than he is. Ready?
I have tons of experience propelling humans across continents.
Not from one continent to another, across a single continent. That's what's happening here.
I approve of being shot out of this cannon.
And many years from now, after Duran and Angela are married, thus reuniting Valsina with Altena, their children will cry in the night to have their diapers changed, and neither of them will be able to hear, because their hearing was totally destroyed by the constant use of cannons, which they are actually inside of to travel around on these adventures. Eventually, their communications problems will cause them to split up. Duran will be aware of his sons, but will be shocked to find out that he has a daughter who only shows up at his kingdom looking for help when Angela decides to murder her. And the cycle continues. Yeah, that's it. I haven't played this, quote, prequel game, so maybe that's why the Hero King and the Queen of Reason, maybe they were an item, and maybe they did break up because both of them went deaf. They both seem to be able to hear, but perhaps they've gotten good at reading lips in the interim.
I'm Von Voyage's sister, Von Soir. Other than having the name Von, I'm completely generic female NPC. All the males in our family are identical except for the colors of their outfits, and they're all geniuses. Women are just kind of generic NPCs.
Who are you people? Oh, that's right. You helped me test my hyper-upgraded ultimate cannon. Thank you for your hard work. I got all the data I need for now, but I'd love to get your feedback on my next invention. The thought of Von Voyage has granted you a new ability. Loathing. Will to fight. Von Voyage chain ability. Power attack damage increased by 5%. And the world map wants us to get back on the Golden Road and head for this new town, but we're kind of almost to the end of a video, and to tell you the truth, now I'm curious about whether it's possible.
Welcome.
And I sort of doubt it, but I am wondering, at some point in the story, the Beastmen leave the city of Jad. I distinctly remember Jad becoming like a normal kind of just stop along the way town. And story-wise, I don't know if they have a reason to still be at Jad. So now I'm inclined to see, can we sail back to Jad? And if so, can we go into that prison and is that guy still there? Guess I won't be returning to Jad for... Okay, so if we can get back to Jad, we can't go there yet. And I feel like once we can get back to Jad, more than likely, that prison area will no longer be accessible. Like, they'll just have that door be locked, and they won't bother to set up NPCs in there patrolling it. So we do got to call it a video in a minute, but I guess we'll just round out this video by walking for the umpteenth time down the Golden Road. We'll just get to that save statue that's close to the dwarf cave, and it's only like 1 or 2 screens away from the next town. We'll just get there, save, and call it a video. And our next adventure, or next video, will start with the incredible adventure of visiting whatever this new town is that the Hero King wants us to go to. Yeah, little cactus, I know.
I don't have time for this.
And yet, I continue to attack this guy.
Can't you tell? We are getting...
Can't you tell we are getting...
You wish.
And honestly, one of the reasons I don't use magic against normal enemies, eventually we'll be picking up area of effect magic that can target more than one enemy at a time. That makes using it against regular enemies a little more useful. But at this point, it's just faster to go up to people and spam melee attacks. Actually using magic doesn't speed anything up.
Of course you won.
But you may have noticed her getting like little purple numbers, like 1 and or just the number 2, floating around nearby. That is...
Fine then. Here I go.
Oh, actually, it would be kind of worth doing here. Because they're weak against Holy Boat.
Let's hurry along.
Oh, we were wrong. But yeah, she actually got a little bit of magic points back from killing enemies there.
Holy past that. All done.
So the problem with MP becomes Charlotte, who needs it to heal, but doesn't actually get anything back through anything that we have at our disposal right now. I'm sure eventually there'll be skills where she gets MP back. Because my understanding, one of the things that makes this game easy is eventually for almost anybody who uses MP to do their best attacks, you can reach a point pretty quickly where you can spam those attacks all you want. I don't think you ever quite reach the ability where you can spam class strikes. You always kind of need to save up some points to do those. But you will eventually get to the point where you're MP using skills. You can spam like nuts and you're fine. We're not quite there yet. I'm sure we'll get there eventually over the course of this exciting adventure, which will continue next time as we reach the merchant town of whatever it's called. It's just a stopping off point on our way towards, we just go there to get a boat. But there is some stuff going on in that town. If I remember correctly, it has the night market, which is a place where that's where you sink all your gold into if you just want to have 99 of all the different fancy pants items. But I need to go. So we'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.